Hello YouTube people, Simon is here again, bringing another battle, this time on Thermopylae. It has been a while since I've recorded, because the game developers have actually decided it is not a good idea to allow people to come into battles against another players too early, so I had to reach TF3 with my units, so that I could record a video and play against other guys again. So because of that, we have a very different setup here. I'm actually not sure why I can't spin the camera right now. I guess we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Anyway, so because of that, we have our Roman setup here, which is not something I've shown you recently. The Roman guys were the ones that I could have reached tier 3 the fastest, so I'm bringing a battle with them. I'm bringing 2 melee units and 1 skirmisher javelin unit to break through those 3-on-3 kind of engagements that you get if everybody takes infantry. So we were deploying in the middle. At the start of the battle, one guy drew a battle map saying that he wanted to dedicate most of our forces to acquire this hill over here. So instead we're just trying to hold this plane, and we don't have that much support. We have some infantry units helping us, but mostly cavalry and other artillery. We're already getting bombarded by enemy artillery, in fact, and there are a lot of archers to which I have no answer to because I've brought my javelins. So just trying to help out my friend over here. He's commanding some cavalry, so just trying to protect these guys and win a lot of time so that we can win over here where we have a big majority. This is a very brutal battle. There's enemies all over, arrows coming. I don't even know from where. It looks like the horsemen are firing them, though of course that's not the case. I deploy into a testudo. It still take a lot of damage, but it's at least avoiding some of the shots. If had we been a barbarian faction, this would have been much more brutal, as they are especially weak against ranged. So we're just trying to hold. I can't really push against them. I try to with my javelins, but ooh, and artillery is brutal as well. So just trying to hold, because if I do push back, we can lose a lot of ground, and that may result in some outflanking. So trying to avoid that, just holding a position. Testudo with another unit as well, and almost taking a heavy artillery shot. So yeah, bonuses, cons and pros and cons, I should say. Trying to harass these archer units over here, because I know my javelins can win if they can get close, but of course we're getting peppered by archers as well. I deactivate my testudo and try to chase these archers, seeing that we don't have very much support. We get a cavalry charge from the right, and I try to pay them back in return, but they do escape. So just going to try to chase them with my infantry units, still taking a lot of damage. We're just too much ranged. There was one melee unit that I haven't noticed, and we had to charge them because we were so close. The enemy is trying to outflank. Meanwhile, I'm chasing these archers because we don't have very much support, so they're forced to flee, but we can't get close to them, and we're still doing a lot of damage. So that's just going on. Meanwhile, these his horsemen clashed into our missile units. Thankfully, we're pretty weak at this point, so not much damage is being done here. Although, of course, that's not optimal. Still chasing the archers, dealt some damage with them. I sparingly fire some of the pillar at them just because I can't catch them. I try to outflank these archers and make sure that they have no way to escape, but these archers turned back and dealt again a lot of damage to me. So just engaging this unit, it's definitely outnumbered and somewhat flanked, but it's not going that well. So I disengage with my unit and try to block these guys, but mostly they can just run away. I think he even sacks one unit so he could save the other two, which is a pretty smart play by him. Taking a lot of damage from his archers now that they've stopped though. There's not much I can do against that. Yeah, melee units aren't particularly strong against ranged units. They can just kite them around all day. But because we've kited them around and they are somewhat weakened, our own archers can deal significant damage to them now. And actually, I believe we get backup from our guys on the left, who've won that very engagement, so they're coming to help us. One infantry unit actually blocks them. But we're making progress now, despite my untimely and sudden sort of sacrifice. We seem to be doing okay on the balance bar as well. The enemy has mostly pulled back and is deploying artillery. These archers are still very nice, harassing the enemy legionnaires. Now at this point, our infantry engaged a smaller force of enemy infantry, which I've noticed was a very bad decision because enemy cavalry is coming in from the left, and we have a lot of archers and none of them are protected. So this guy kind of messed up. He can't really pull back units either, so these archers are just going to have to suffer. Thankfully, they do a lot of damage and they can quiet for a little bit, but a lot of archers will be lost here. This was actually very bad. Imagine if his cavalry had been a lot more healthier, they could win this engagement and strike us from the rear. We could potentially even lose this. Meanwhile, a push is being made on the enemy base. This guy is doing what I like to do. He's pulling one barbarian unit back and making sure that the other units can flank. So this is somewhat a cautious push. These guys do realize that, and they're just going to throw javelins at them. Finally, here comes the charge. A fake charge, apparently. Now a real one, maybe. Maybe a real one. I guess the enemy grows tired and attacks himself, so that's an engagement. Meanwhile, the horsemen killed a lot of archers and disappeared around here. I'm actually not sure where they are at this point. Oh, I guess they got cleared. Oh, not cleared. Almost cleared by the archers, but they are back. Thankfully, some of them made through, and we're helping to attack the center. Just a big blob in the center at this point. One of our players is smart enough to pull cavalry back in case someone tries to flank us, so avoiding that potential travesty. I haven't seen this cavalry actually. I think they're Carthaginian. Theban cavalry. Perhaps Greek then? Those guys look pretty cool. No, none of my units look very fancy. They essentially look like this guy, like pretty much peasant-like, or Roman, so not very fancy. But I like to think that our sacrifice helped to win this battle. I'm not totally sure what happened on the left. Perhaps we did give enough time for us to win. This guy is just showing off with his testudo now, getting charged actually by the cavalry, which is pretty dangerous. But doesn't matter at this point. So there you go. I can play against another players again, and hopefully the problems with performance have been fixed also. So you'll see more of these videos again pretty soon, I hope. Thank you for watching. I hope you were mildly entertained, and hope to see you next time.